Well, congratulations, hero. Millions of citizens you've sworn to protect might die because of what you did today.
It's possible, however painful, to love a game and despise its characters. Even those heroes we love to hate don't often represent the kind of people we want to be, make decisions we agree with for a second, and can be really annoying to be around. It's a challenge to make a game's cast unique, but ultimately relatable, and some creators may have gone a little too far in their attempt to force someone to stand out. Some of these jerks we wouldn't change if we could, but we ranked the list on raw unlikability.
Number 10!
The God of War.
The emotional journey KRATOS tackles in the latest God of War shows a more honest and vulnerable side of the legendary warrior as he comes to accept the unique relationship he has with his son. But the story only works because KRATOS was such an unbelievable ass earlier in his life. The gods betrayed him several times, but he only has himself to blame for the most miserable moments. Seeing KRATOS exact his revenge upon his enemies can be brutally satisfying, but after every bad decision and selfish sacrifice he makes along the way, it becomes harder and harder to actually like the guy.
I will have my revenge!
Number 9!
Okay, I'm in the lobby of the Merlot.
Alright, Aiden. Let's do it.
I'm hacking in.
AIDEN Pierce is a career criminal hell-bent on getting revenge on the people responsible for the death of his niece. After a heist goes awry, AIDEN is targeted by a hitman, but it's his family that ends up paying the ultimate price. His gruff voice and vigilante crusade are the ultimate cliches, and the disturbing body count left in his wake is made worse by him constantly blaming someone else. It's hard to believe he'll ever set things right, and if anyone should be held accountable for his family's tragedy, it's him.
You gotta walk away from this, man!
Some things you can't walk away from.
Please!
Number 8.
Boo!
Ah!
Gotcha! Hey there, kid, it's nice to meet ya!
When it comes to the cast of a JRPG, it's almost always a safe bet that you'll be in for some fun times. Not all characters are created equal, though, and there are some downright awful members you'll come across in your travels. Welch, from Star Ocean: The Last Hope, is one of those NPCs who will really try your patience and make you question why you tolerate keeping them around. She has a habit of making fun of every single new party member that joins the crew over the course of the game by hurling nasty remarks that play into horrible stereotypes, revealing just how terrible of a person she is deep down.
Hey, let's shake and make up. You may be all see-through, Welchie, but you're not so bad, Kay. She fell for it! She fell for it! Yep, she's still a child, all right.
Number 7.
What's in it for you, Cole? More glory?
It must have taken a hard-boiled attitude to survive as a detective in 1940s Los Angeles. As a World War II veteran, Cole Phelps has seen humanity at its worst, so he's not going to let two-bit gangsters or crooked cops get in the way of his search for justice. Sadly, by the end of LA Noire, you discover that even Cole has a pretty big pile of skeletons in his closet. It's an odd twist, and regardless of where the story goes from that point, it grows hard to give a damn about someone so callous. Cole definitely has reasons for the horrors he's committed, but that doesn't mean we have to like them.
We're done for now.
Number 6!
This is Jason, the one I've been telling you about.
Hi.
Did they teach you to speak without permission in America?
No, I learned that in France.
Contrasting with most of these entries, Far Cry 3's Jason Brody isn't a face you're likely to recognize since you see the world through his eyes. Your proximity to Jason only amplifies any disconnect with his personality as he regularly vocalizes his thoughts and never gets over his disgust of skinning animals no matter how many he's killed.
Ew.
Caught by pirates and held for ransom after a bender in the South Pacific, it's hard not to see Jason and his friends as spoiled rich kids, but Jason in particular has a tendency to deliver snide comebacks that are more thoughtless than clever, and he's a terrible backseat driver.
Don't jerk the wheel!
You're not helping!
As the game progresses, he simply gets worse, losing touch with rescuing his friends in favor of doing hallucinogenic drugs and boosting his ego to become some fabled tribal warrior.
I never thought I'd be able to kill someone. The first time it felt wrong. Which is good, right? But now, it feels like winning.
Number 5.
It's ridiculous. Couldn't possibly be true. That's what I keep telling myself.
According to his late wife, James Sunderland is kind underneath his surly and quiet exterior, and while he does attempt to be helpful and pleasant, he harbors a deep and sanity-shattering guilt. This guilt manifests in strange and dangerous ways, changing the once idyllic and mysterious town of Silent Hill into a deranged and dangerous place, at least for those with guilty hearts. While James is mostly likable throughout the majority of Silent Hill 2, the shocking revelations of the game's ending reveal a much darker side to this affable everyman.
You didn't love Mary anyway.
Wait! How do you know Mary's name?
Number 4!
How old were you again?
Nice fun.
Companies rely heavily on feedback from their consumers, but there are times when this doesn't always result in a better product. Originally, Final Fantasy XII starred a character more closely resembling Bosch, but after analyzing their demographics, the higher-ups at Square Enix insisted on a younger teenage hero. This new protagonist, VAAN, is meant to be the player's window into the world of Ivalice, but in truth, VAAN serves little purpose to the overall narrative. Unlike Bosch, Ash, or Balthier, VAAN feels like a tacked-on addition to the game, who often acts out of place and seems as confused as we are why he's around. We don't want to be too harsh on him, though. He's just a kid, after all.
Surprisingly rude.
Try to grow up, please.
Number 3!
And then there's Trevor. The less said about him, the better.
We may love Trevor for his off-the-wall antics and disregard for public safety, but God help us if there's anyone walking around on planet Earth that's this depraved with such easy access to military-grade weapons. With a rocket launcher or a tank of gas and a lighter, he can completely ruin a person's life without giving it a second thought, whether they double-crossed him or he's just having a bad day. Trevor represents our most depraved video game desires, which makes him a disturbingly fun character to play as, but someone you would never want to meet in person.
How have you been?
Oh, simply wonderful. And you?
Somewhere stuck between joyful and peachy.
Number 2!
I bring Darth Vader's enemies to justice.
The best Star Wars heroes and villains have a quality that immediately draws you to them, be it a quick wit, endearing humor, absolute menace, or simply a strong drive. Starkiller, whose real name is Galen Marek, has none of these things. Part of Starkiller's problem comes from his design. There's no striking visual element to him whatsoever, as if the secret Sith apprentice was designed by a committee to appeal to the widest audience possible. The blandness carries over to his character development, or lack thereof. In the original Force Unleashed, the general dispassionate attitude of Starkiller makes it hard to invest in what's happening to him. And when the game does try to strike an emotional chord, we don't know enough about Starkiller as a person to really care. So much of his arc echoes other, more vibrant Star Wars characters, so Starkiller's screen time ends up feeling hollow. In The Force Unleashed 2, you play as a clone of Starkiller, because the only thing better than an uninteresting lead is a copy of it.
Starkiller's emotions made him weak. You must destroy what he created.
Number 1!
Cool.
Duke Nukem has made a name for himself in this business by saving the world from aliens on more than one occasion, but that doesn't change the fact that he's a total scumbag. His entire mission is to save the human race from extinction and enslavement, but he constantly treats them like trash. His jokes weren't that funny 20 years ago, and they're just repulsive today. Duke isn't a guy you can bring home to your family or friends, and spending any amount of social time with the self-centered egomaniac sounds like a nightmare. A lot of entries on this list called it quits after one game, but Duke keeps crashing parties no one invited him to again and again. The world has moved on, and the best thing for Duke Nukem to do is stay in the past, where he belongs.
Shake it, baby. Shake it, baby. You wanna dance? Shake it, baby. You wanna dance?
Easy Allies create shows, podcasts, reviews, and more thanks to generous viewers just like you. If you like what you see, check out patreon.com/easyallies to help us make more. For just $1 a month, you can gain access to weekly updates, spoiler discussions, and exclusive shows.